Welcome to the Stone Sculpting course. I'm Andrew Joseph Keith, and in this video we're going to be diving into the world of stone sculpture. Whether you're an aspiring sculptor or you're just curious, you're in the right place. Let's explore what makes stone sculpture so timeless and fascinating. First up, let's travel back in time to uncover the history and cultural significance of stone sculpture. This art form goes way back. Think prehistoric. Carvings on cave walls, small, chubby figurines out of stone. Ancient civilizations like the Greeks and the Egyptians used stone to create jaw-dropping monuments. As long as mankind has existed, there have been sculptors fascinated with finding form in stone. And some of those stone sculptures have passed the test of time and survived through the ages. Fast forward to the Renaissance and we find incredible masterpieces. Stone sculpture was an art form that carried deep meaning and still does today. From religious temples to political monuments, they told stories of faith, power, human achievement, and transcendent ideals. Take Stonehenge, for example, those massive standing stones in England, or the massive Moai sculptures of Easter Island. I think it's pronounced Moai. Moai, something like that. Even the intricate Mayan sculptures of Central America show how civilizations around the world shaped stone to express their culture, beliefs, and vision. It's set in stone or it's carved in stone are phrases used to express when something is solid and unchanging. Now let's talk about some of the rock stars of stone sculpture. See what I did there? Rock stars. Okay, granite. That joke was a little bit lame. One of the most historic sculptures is Michelangelo's David. Sculpted in the 1500s, this 17-foot tall giant is a Renaissance icon, showcasing jaw-dropping skill in its production. If you're interested in sculpting, now's a great time to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And comment below your favorite stone sculpture and why others should be aware of it. My personal favorite sculpture of David is by Bernini. Just look at the expression and details and energy of the figure that feel so lifelike. It's like a spring with all that built-up energy. Another iconic sculpture is the Sphinx that's stood at the doorway of the pyramids of Egypt for thousands of years. And who could forget Mount Rushmore with its colossal presidential faces carved into the side of a mountain? Incredible. They used a lot of explosives and it's pretty cool. These works aren't just impressive or beautiful, they've become cultural icons, representations of entire civilizations. They were works of monumental achievement, and they captured the spirit of their time. Just imagine the tools, the process, the patience, and the sacrifice that it took to create these sculptures. Wow. Okay, now let's break down some different types of stone sculpture. First, there's relief sculpture. Oh, whew. That's a relief. Picture a design that's been carved onto a flat surface, or like a sculpture that's been pressed up against the wall, but still retains enough depth to tell a story and show form. You see this art form in ancient friezes, which were decorative panels incorporated into the architecture of buildings. Wouldn't it be great if we still made buildings like this with sculptures all around the exterior? One can dream. There's low relief, which is just barely raised from the surface, mid relief, which has a little bit more depth to it, and high relief is when the form is basically in 3 dimensions, but it's just attached to the back wall. And sometimes all of these forms will be combined in a way so that the things that are most forward in space are in high relief, then mid relief, and then low relief for background elements. Next up is in the round sculpture. Now, when somebody talks about a sculpture or a statue, this is generally what people think of. It's a sculpture that you can walk around like Michelangelo's David. Also, modern figurative sculptures in a park or at a museum. We also have the category of abstract sculpture. These sculptures don't mimic reality. They focus on textures, shapes, forms. They're abstract. Contemporary artists love this style for its creative freedom. They don't feel tied down by making something look like something else. While realistic or naturalistic sculptures are undoubtedly more impressive, I myself have made many abstracted or stylized stone sculptures based on the human form, but highly simplified. I think of these as gesture studies. I like to use angles to find interesting line work in the sculptures. They're fun to make and faster to sculpt. They're definitely easier than trying to make something look realistic. And when it's done right, they can still be very beautiful, and they really showcase interesting pieces of stone well. So if you have a very busy piece of stone where there's a lot of design elements inside of the stone, a lot of the details, they might get lost. But if you're abstracting or simplifying, then you can showcase the natural beauty of the stone in an elegant way. When done well, these abstract stone sculptures can be quite captivating. And finally, we have mixed media sculptures, like this sculpture, originally titled La Caprese des Colonias, translated to the goat tender from the colonies. This sculpture combined bronze with Algerian onyx marble and was produced by Charles Henry Joseph Cordier as a tribute to the abolition of slavery in the French colonies. Combining stone with other durable materials or laminating different colored pieces of stone together provides unlimited possibilities to sculptors with skills, a vision, and the drive to create. Each of these sculpting methods provides a unique way to bring a sculpture to life. Another element to consider is the size or scale of the sculpture. With regard to the scale of an artwork, I've heard it said, if you can't make it good, make it big. And it's true that even a bad sculpture is somewhat impressive if it's done at a large or even a massive scale. That being said, it's better to create a good design regardless of the scale that you're working at. If you're going to make something big, make it good. It's hard to make something big, especially in stone. So if you're going to do that, choose a good design. Because every piece of stone is unique, that means that every stone sculpture is one of a kind. While we now live in the day of 3D scans and large mechanical sculpting machines that can recreate a sculpture with a decent level of precision, it's still perceived to have a greater value when a patron knows that the sculpture that they're purchasing was created by hand and that the design came out of the mind of an artist. We've just barely skimmed the surface of the rich history, iconic examples, and different styles of stone sculpture. Isn't it amazing how a block of stone or a piece of rock can be transformed by an artist into something that's beautiful and tells a story? In upcoming lessons, we'll go over the tools and techniques that you can use to transform stone into these incredible works of art. So if that sounds interesting, then be sure to join the full sculpting course. Thanks for watching. Stay creative, stay productive, and hopefully I'll see you in the premium course.